Without question, the record for three-pointers in a game will keep going up. And you might call me crazy, but I think eventually someone is gonna hit 20 in a game. And if we're gonna figure out who that's gonna be, we've got to target someone that can get hot. And I mean flaming red hot from beyond the arc.
I said it's getting hot in here. So hot.
Well, there is one guy that fits that bill, and he's been doing it a lot recently, Klay Thompson. To break the record, you need an offense that looks for you as much as possible. Check that box for Klay. It helps to have a few teammates that can also bomb away at a high clip to take the focus off of you. And lastly, you've got to be competitive and truly want to break the record.
I want to get that 12 so bad so I can actually have one more record than Steph for once. He got all the three-point records, so.
The thing is, he already has the record of 14 back in October of 2018. So he's going to have to compete with himself. And this season, he's shooting the highest three-point frequency of his career by far, while matching his career high in points per game. Recently, he's been on a heater, and although one of them was against the defensively challenged Houston Rockets, he also lit up two of the best defenses in the league. A remarkable feat for a shooter who everyone is paying attention to every second he's out there. So let's examine how he gets his shots, since it's the blueprint for how the record will be broken. Coming off of pin downs is the most common way Klay gets his shots off from behind the arc, since it allows him a 15-foot sprint with the big man getting in his defender's way in order to get open for a catch-and-shoot shot. The Warriors' offense has gotten creative with this type of action, as Poole cuts through the lane to screen Klay's man, then Draymond is waiting for a second staggered screen. Even if you get there to challenge, Klay is the master at interrupting his rhythm with a shot fake, then still hitting the shot as we ignore the travel before the jump, and he extends Golden State's third quarter lead. On this play, Klay sets a pin down screen first. Notice how the defense switches this, leaving his new man several steps away and out of position to handle the pin down on the right wing. Going to his left, his right hip and elbow are already aligned on the catch, and it's hard to believe he can get this wide open. This is a throwback to another era of floppy sets, where the threat of Curry cutting towards the basket gets the whole defense on edge. Booker isn't ready, so Kogi calls out a switch. It's hard to completely reverse course and keep up with the player sprinting around a screen, and Klay proves why this action is so good for him. Reading screens is crucial in order to find the open space. Defenders should be top-locking him more often, like Knicks is doing here, but watch how Klay realizes the open space is towards the baseline, turning his cut into a flare with a left foot pivot, and utilizing the non-traditional right-left footwork to get this wide-open shot off quickly. There are automatics in this offense, and one of them is if Klay's under the hoop, you must set the pin down for him. With the ball on the wing, he has to stay in the corner, and the defensive switch must be better than this. Even in transition, you can see Klay calling for the pin down from Draymond, who instantly snaps into action, while Booker is frantically calling for CP3 to switch. Klay is already letting it fly for an early three. A huge benefit to Klay is Steve Kerr's incredibly clever offense. It's one reason why it'll be Klay who ends up breaking his own record of 14 threes in a game. The Warriors rely much less on ball screens and more on good spacing and player and ball movement, like this sideline out of bounds play. Klay is a decoy at first with the handoff back to the inbounder. I love the snap back into a pin away for him, catching his defender going underneath the screen, which is all the space he needs to quick release it into a splash. This sideline out of bounds play has been in their playbook since the beginning. Watch Klay backscreen the inbounder before getting his own pin down. Payne shoots the gap to take away the shot at first, but they've been at this too long, as Looney instantly knows to flip around for a ball screen, and when Klay has got it going, it doesn't matter that he's going to his right full speed, has to rotate 40 degrees in the air and let it go over the contest of a center. It's a perfect make. Klay is such a good shooter, he's able to make deep shots at any angle with any footwork at a remarkably consistent rate, whether he's home or away, early or late in the game, or if an elite defender is guarding him, which is why I'm always picking the over on Klay's made threes. And if you want the chance to win some money on his production, or any other NBA player, then you have to head over to UnderdogFantasy.com and check out Pick'em, where you can choose 2 to 5 players, then decide on the over-under for specific stats. It's super easy to set up, and you can win up to 20 times your initial entry fee. If you think Klay is going to light it up against the Clippers tonight, then get in the action. But it doesn't stop there. You can make it a rival and add players from different teams to make it even more interesting. They've also got drafts where you can compete against me. You think you got what it takes? If you click on the link below and use my promo code BBALL, you'll get a deposit match of up to $100. So if you want a chance to get up to 20 times your money or beat me in a draft, you've got to check out Underdog Fantasy. Use my code BBALL, get up to $100 in matching deposits, and you'll have a better chance at winning money and understanding why I love the flow of this set as they imitate Princeton offense with a handoff into reversal. Klay and DiVincenzo split, hoping to get the defense to screw up a switch. When that doesn't happen, the offense never stops. The pass to the roll man sucks in both weak side defenders, and now they're scrambling to keep up as Poole makes one more pass, and Klay is never this open as he stagger stops after the release to accentuate his alignment to the basket. Remember, one of the best ways to get your shooter open is to have him set a back screen. While the defense played this part well, it quickly flows into an elbow screen for a sliver of daylight going to his left to knock down another one from deep. Another fake ball screen sucks his man to Curry in the left wing. The switch wasn't communicated. Looney is there for the flare screen to take him out anyway, and the looping pass finds him open for another perfect make. Oftentimes, it's the screener who's most dangerous in the offense. As Klay sets the second pick for the ball, both defenders go with the dribbler for a step, and that's all Klay needs to pop out into space for an open jumper, but it drifts on him a little bit. Their absolute bread and butter all these years under Steve Kerr has been the low post split, and teams still can't figure out how to stop it. The basic action is the passer to the post sets the split screen for Klay, who finds it difficult to get alignment when going to his right. Here it is going to his left, and even though he almost interrupts the shot midway through, it still goes in because of the direction he was moving in. They've really gotten clever in disguising the set, with the guard cross-screening to make sure the low post can receive the pass, then Klay screens for DiVincenzo diving to the hoop. If that's not open, then Klay comes off the elbow screen from Looney, and this time he finds the right alignment going to his right. Notice the right leg kicks up to control the amount of in-air rotation, no follow-through necessary as this swishes cleanly through the net. This is a very versatile action. If Klay is the passer to the post and a non-shooter like Looney is out top, then this screen gets flipped into a flare for Klay, getting him a really good look. Here they run the low post split to the left side. There's Poole coming off the elbow screen from Looney, but they also have guys spotting up on the weak side for skip passes. Everyone on the team looks for Klay as often as possible, and even if the pass isn't great, the no follow-through quick release is another pretty make. This Princeton set is really the low post split with the ball moved up to the high post. Klay gets that flare screen, Draymond throws an off-target pass, and Klay has to lead the league in makes off of bad passes. This time it's the other green, JaMychal, making that pass. It's on time and closer to being on target, and Klay's job is a little easier on this one. The handoff is another great way to generate open threes. Essentially, it's a pick and roll, but faster. And with this offense, Klay has lots of opportunities from all around the court to start running into a catch before stopping on a dime and taking advantage of the opening his teammates create for him. I don't think there's a better shooter off the handoff than Klay Thompson. Of course, the only way you're going to break the record is to get threes in transition. I think he's going to have to hunt for even more if he wants to get there, and it's obvious his teammates are trying to find him every chance they get as they fast break up the court. These are the moments when the defense is just scrambling to get back, lose track of him, and before they have a chance to react, the ball is already up and out and on its way to the basket for a back-breaking, lead-increasing shot. And God forbid you let him really get going like in these games. Then you get the heat check. These are the isolations after a switch, the kind of shots the traditional catch and shoot guys would never get to take. And I gotta tell ya, he went 6 for 7 on these, with each shot harder than the next. The kind of makes that force the other team to call timeout and hope they can stop the momentum and interrupt Klay's rhythm, since they know they've put themselves in a terrible position to win the game because they let him go supernova up till this point. The audacity of these shots, combined with his lack of conscience, is the reason we have to consider them seriously as favorites to come out of the West. They beat the shorthanded Suns by outscoring them 19-4 from behind the arc. In the 88 games, where one team has outscored the other by 15 or more threes, 87 of them won the game. The Warriors outscored their opponents by an average of almost 4 threes a game, and I had the guys at Bucket List Fans run the numbers, and here's what they came up with. NBA teams that hit at least 4 threes a game more than their opponent win that game 75.4% of the time, and in the playoffs, it's 73.2%. Now, I know you don't have to look very far to find another guy who might have even more of a chance to break the single-game record, but he's got even more focus on him these days, and it seems like it would be too difficult for him to get enough shots off. But it's exactly that focus on Curry that will open up things for Klay to shake loose for.